In late May 2023, I went on a cruise to Alaska with my family, my 81-year-old father, and my 3 kids. My oldest son is in his 20s and in law school, my daughter is in college, and my son is in high school. And I'm currently 50 years old. Or by the time this video goes up, I might be 51. But I wanted to get the perspective of people of different ages, like our family group was, on what they thought of cruising to Alaska. So I interviewed everyone, and this is what they had to say. How did you like cruising to Alaska?
I loved where we were going because I've never been here before. It was everything was totally different, and that made it enjoyable. And I really like seeing the glacier.
Okay, I really like Alaska, and almost immediately after the cruise started, I was already thinking to myself that I'm going to want to come back here more than once. It's very, very scenic and beautiful. I especially liked the glacier, and I especially liked just seeing all the snow-capped mountains off of the sides of the ship when we're in a lot of places. And I really liked the temperate rainforest when we went to Totem Bight State Park in Ketchikan. I thought that was really beautiful. I liked the ports in increasing order. Well, I don't know. I can't say if I like Juneau or Sitka better. I was actually kind of surprised at how normal towny both of those felt. Like I was expecting something more quaint and touristy, and that's what Ketchikan was like. So I actually liked Ketchikan the best, at least the historic downtown part near the main dock. That's kind of what I was expecting from the towns, and I thought that Sitka and Juneau would be more like that, and they weren't. So that kind of threw me. I liked all the nature and the wildlife and everything. I thought was really cool. And it's such a big state, and I definitely want to come back because there's so much to see. I'd like to try different cruise lines coming up here. One that we said that we would love to try because we really want to get back on the Wonder. We loved the Disney Wonder, is to come up here in the Disney Wonder. The one thing I'm not real keen on the fact that the Wonder goes out of Vancouver instead of Seattle. Although I understand that Vancouver is a lovely scenic port, but can be kind of a pain to cruise out of. And that can be tricky for people who might not be able to enter Canada. I also might like to try Princess and Royal Caribbean coming up here too. I'd like to try different itineraries and different cruise lines and come back to Alaska, definitely for sure.
I liked it a lot. The scenery is definitely the most scenic, I think, of cruises. Like everywhere you look, it's always something to look at, which I think is better than the Caribbean, which obviously is just a lot of flat islands.
Yeah.
The weather is interesting for a cruise. You know, when you think cruising, you think like warm, being able to like sit outside and such. It's not necessarily that it was cold because it's much warmer than it is back home, but yeah, it was definitely different, but like not necessarily a bad different or a good different, just different.
Okay.
I loved Alaska. I thought it was very beautiful. I definitely think it's one of the most beautiful places I have been to date. I think the only thing that rivals it would be Switzerland, because the mountains are similar. But I really loved it. I thought it was very interesting. I loved learning more about the culture. I liked the little excursions we did. Like in Sitka, we didn't really do excursions, but we went to the museum. Mm-hmm. And in Ketchikan, we did the totem walk. And I thought it was a good way to learn more about the culture because I don't actually know a lot about Alaskan history or culture. So it was nice to be able to experience some of that. And yeah, it's just a really neat place. I definitely think that, for me personally, I liked the port stops more as we went along.
I did too.
Like Ketchikan was my favorite, Sitka was my second favorite, and Juneau was my least favorite.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe I would have liked Juneau more if it were not raining.
Yeah.
That is one thing I don't like, is a lot of the places we went were in temperate rainforest. And I really, really don't like the rain. Mm-hmm. For that reason, I don't think I could live in Alaska.
Okay.
But other than that, I really liked it, and it's a very nice place, and I would highly recommend visiting.
Pretty.
Is that all you have to say?
Yes, and it's my place because it's mountains.
Okay.